You have probably seen this guy. His name is Mat Armstrong, and he has been dominating YouTube, becoming the first ever car YouTube channel to average 6 million views per video, with some videos even passing 20 million views. But how? In this video, we are investigating how he cracked the algorithm and the unique strategy that made him go viral. How he went from being broke with just a bike to becoming insanely wealthy and living his dream.
Hi, my name is Luero. Please subscribe and help me fuel the passion that is this channel. Let's get straight into the story.
It all began with a car crash. Matt was in a horrifying crash with his girlfriend Hannah, his #1 supporter. He swerved off the road and completely totaled his Audi TT. It was every boyfriend's nightmare, seeing his girlfriend in an accident. Matt's heart sank, but thankfully everything went fine. Yet, in this horrifying situation, an unexpected opportunity appeared. The insurance company wrote off the car, declaring it unfit for the road and beyond repair. But Matt didn't see it in that way. In his eyes, the damage didn't look so bad. Quickly, he realized that he could buy the car back from the insurance company for just £400. Something inside him sparked. He thought, what if I rebuild it? And what if I filmed the whole process? This leads us into the question, what gave young Matt the confidence to believe that he could take a crash-damaged written off Audi TT and bring it back to life? To answer that, we need to go back. When Matt was a child, his parents divorced. This split that changed everything, leaving the family divided. And this is where Matt's father, Tony Armstrong, comes into the story. The divorce hit Tony hard, with Matt spending most of his time at his mother's house, where all his friends lived close by. Tony was left alone. He worked constantly.
I personally believe that this was a way to cope with the devastating divorce.
When my dad split up, I lived with my mum the majority of my life, and I didn't really see my dad as much. I never really used to see him. You don't realise till now that actually beat him up a bit.
Sometimes joking sarcastically on camera years later, "You never wanted to see me," but beneath the sarcasm, you could tell it hurt. He had lost his wife, and in a way, he had lost his kids too. With little else, Tony threw himself into work. Matt, watching this as a child, grew up thinking that this was normal, to work non-stop, to grind, and this became the first of 4 keys to his success: work ethic. We'll see the other keys as the story unfolds. But here is the thing, even though Matt was lonely, he cherished every single moment that he got with his son. Whenever something went wrong with Matt's car, Tony never said just replace it. Instead, he'd roll up his sleeve and show Matt every single screw and bolt, teaching him step by step how to fix it. This wasn't just about repairing cars. This was about a father finding a way to connect with his son, and a son learning resourcefulness without even realizing it. Those moments in the garage planted the seed that would later grow into something huge. Thanks to Tony's lessons, Matt gained not only mechanical knowledge but also a belief in himself, and this became the second key to his success:
the knowledge and the way of the mechanic, his mechanical skills.
Learning cars, I think it all sort of springs from my dad. Everything can be fixed, but you don't just replace things.
But here is the thing, Matt's YouTube legacy had begun long before the Audi TT crash. He had already been uploading videos, only that they weren't about cars. Matt's first passion was BMX. He filmed himself practicing tricks, modifying his bike, and even applying for competitions. Some of these videos ended up on YouTube, pulling around 5,000 views per video. Nothing life-changing, but enough to build a tiny community. People watched, commented, and slowly, Matt discovered the addictive loop of creating content. At first, it was just a hobby. His real plan was to become a professional BMX rider. Every day he practiced new skills, pushed himself himself harder and studied BMX clips online. But eventually, reality set in. There was no money in BMXing. Even if he came first place in a competition, he might only earn 10,000 euro, barely enough to survive until the next event. So Mat pivoted. If BMXing wasn't the way out of the 9-to-5 grind, then maybe property was the way, Mat thought. Mat's idea was to buy and flip houses because he had no qualifications and hadn't gone to university and didn't see himself in a traditional career path. But property flipping seemed perfect, and all he needed was just a little money to get started, so he hustled. Mat worked 2 jobs, a 9-to-5 shift in a restaurant, followed immediately by a 6-to-10 shift somewhere else, day in and day out. The grind gave him just enough to buy his first home ever. He renovated it, rented it, and eventually wanted to sell it. It worked. The plan became save up and buy another property and repeat the process. All the while, YouTube was just a side hobby. While flipping houses came the Audi crash from nowhere, and with all of the life experiences that Mat just had gone through, he decided to film the repair process and upload it on YouTube. He uploaded multiple videos, and the videos started to get a moderate amount of traction. After finishing the build, he had fewer than 10,000 subscribers, but now had a working Audi TT, so he sold his old Mercedes E350 for £9,000 and used the money as a deposit for his next property. The Audi TT build didn't make him famous, but it lit a fire, because once the TT was done, he started modifying Hannah's new car that she got after the accident, a BMW 1 Series. He filmed that project too. When the BMW was finished, he had grown to around 20,000 subscribers. Only still nothing viral, but it revealed the third key to his success: persistence. Even when the numbers were small, even when he was just making £40 a month from YouTube, Mat didn't quit. In his own words, he joked that YouTube was basically his gym membership paid for. All this while, still working those grueling 9 to 10 PM shifts, and somehow still found the time to film, edit and upload. The hustle was relentless, but things were about to change. Everything changed with one video. Mat bought the cheapest Audi S5 in the UK. By this point, he had been uploading YouTube videos for 5 years, grinding away with modest results. But this video was different. It absolutely blew up. Within just 2 days, the video hit over 100,000 views, and when it took off, so did his older uploads as well. The algorithm had finally noticed him. All of his older videos started to get good views as well. From this moment forward, every new video was pulling 100,000 views plus. Then came the real shock. He checked his YouTube account and seen that his payment was to be £3,000 for the first time ever. Mat thought, if I can just do this every month, I could live off YouTube full time. But he wasn't convinced yet. He was thinking maybe it was just a fluke, maybe a one-time thing, when suddenly his life would change forever. COVID-19 hit and the world would change forever. Up until then, Mat was still working at the Indian restaurant, sometime editing his videos from the car park during breaks. But when the pandemic hit, the restaurant he worked at shut down, and suddenly he had nothing but time on his hands. This was the perfect chance to go all in on YouTube, and all in he went. He gave it a real chance to see what would happen, and it paid off. After that first £3,000 month, the income became consistent. Brands started offering sponsorship deals worth thousands. He could finally afford bigger and crazier car projects, and each one of his videos attracted more and more views. The cars got wilder, the builds got more ambitious, and their numbers kept climbing. Through it all, one consistent remained: his father, Tony. Tony had always worked alone as a self-employed entrepreneur, but when Matt hit roadblocks, he'd call his dad for advice. One time, Matt was building a Lamborghini Murcielago engine from the ground up when nothing worked and he got stuck. He didn't know what to do, so he called his father. Tony didn't just give him advice, he drove down and helped him hands-on, even appeared in the video for the first time ever, and the viewers loved him. That moment changed everything. Tony became a regular face on the channel, and with each build, their father-son bond healed and grew stronger. They went from being distant to becoming best friends, spending not just work time together, but personal time as well. The audience felt that authentic connection. It wasn't just about cars anymore, it was about family. 2023 hit, and this was the year that would change his life forever. He would blow up in a manner that he never thought possible as a car channel. He bought a wrecked BMW M5, and this series exploded. It catapulted Matt's channel from a niche mechanic audience to mainstream viewers worldwide. People weren't just watching to see a car get fixed. They were watching because of the story, the characters, and the unbelievable transformations. It was proof that his channel had become something bigger than just cars. But not everything was smooth. One night, after a long day at the workshop, Matt drove home in his modified rear-wheel drive Lamborghini Gallardo. The road was slick with rain. He was cautious, aware of how dangerous the car could be. But on a narrow, tree-lined lane, disaster struck. He lost control. The Gallardo slid into a ditch and was completely destroyed. Looking at the wreck, it was a miracle he survived. Not a single injury, but the crash left its mark. Afterward, every single time it rained, Matt couldn't help himself to think twice before getting behind the wheel. Still, he carried on. By now, Tony was a permanent part of the videos. Viewers loved his positivity and his fatherly wisdom. Even when everything was going wrong, Tony kept smiling. Not because of the cars, but because he was simply happy to spend time with his son. Their relationship gave the channel a soul, and that connection, the soul of the channel, helped Matt achieve what no other car YouTuber had. 6 million views per video. To put that in perspective, most automotive creators pull a few 100,000 views per video. Even the biggest names like the Stradman or Travarish might average 1 million, but 6 million was completely unheard of. But why? How did he do it? What was the exact strategy that made Matt go so viral? Let's break it down. First, his team was small and authentic. Just Tony, a cameraman, Hannah, and only recently 1 or 2 extra people. In a world where every YouTuber becomes super professional and Mr. Beastifies everything with 100 employees, Matt kept it simple. He kept it human. In his videos, Matt surrounded himself with people he loved, and the chemistry could be felt through the screen. People could really feel the bond the people in the video had. Matt really looked out for everybody. When some of the builds got finished, he gifted the cars to the people in the video. He gave away cars to his friends, fans, he gave a Urus to his girlfriend, and maybe the most heartfelt one, he gave away a Ferrari to his father, which was his dream car.
Because this is yours. What? This is your Ferrari.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is, yeah. You know, mate.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah.
Yours, Mat Armstrong
Second, his videos were very satisfying. Other rebuild channels stretch projects across endless episodes with barely any progress, but Mat packed a huge amount of progress into every single upload. A Lamborghini SVJ, for example, might start off as a wreck in the beginning of the video, but by the end he would already have it started. Watching his videos was like seeing Lego built at super speed. The process felt amazing to watch. Third, Mat was a great storyteller. He didn't just fix cars, but he built narratives around them. For example, the Murcielago series wasn't just about the car being fixed. It was tied to the Gumball 3000 rally, a legendary supercar road trip across Europe. He had set the goal to make it to the event in time. The goal gave the story urgency and stakes. The viewers tuned in, not only to see the car getting fixed, but to see if Mat would make it to the event and to see if the car would hold up. It was a long road trip after all. That kind of storytelling set him apart from everybody else. Fourth, he stayed authentic. Even before hitting 1 million subs, he had plenty of opportunities to sell out, but he refused. He never made content just for money, and people could feel that honesty and made him more authentic and trustworthy. Finally, his vision was bigger than anybody else's. While other creators aimed for hundreds of thousands of views, Mat openly declared his goal. On a podcast a few years ago, 5 million views per video.
Automotive industry, we need to take the reins really and start doing things that other people aren't doing or other people haven't got the budget or the access to. So we're trying to get ahead of the games in so many different ways. Do we stop?
Everybody thought that he was crazy, but he believed in himself, worked relentlessly, and actually, years later, achieved it. Now, his sights are set even higher. 100 million subscribers is the next goal for Mat, he says in a podcast. As Mat himself said, it should be possible.
Everybody has or knows about cars. I don't see why I couldn't reach 100 million when billions of people connect with cars. Today, Mat is living the dream he once thought was impossible. He drives the cars he once only fantasized about. He bought his dream home and works along the people he loves the most. And Tony, now fully employed by Mat, finally gets to spend every day with his son, something he never had the chance to do when Mat was a child. And that might be the greatest rebuild of them all.